Hi besties, welcome to my channel. Today, as the title suggests, I'm going to be going over my birth control journey, why I got on birth control, how long I've been on birth control. Hint, it's been about 10 years. My journey to now getting off of birth control, what I eat in a day to prepare my body to transition off of birth control. It is a big transition. You do need to transition off of birth control, especially if you've been on it for a while. So I'm gonna go on a walk with my dogs and I'll meet you back for breakfast. So while my sweet potato is finishing cooking, I'm just going to go over my supplements really quickly. So first I have liposomal glutathione, which is amazing for liver detoxification. Your liver is constantly detoxifying, so especially when you're on birth control, it needs all the help it can get. I've also got omega-3s, which are really amazing for inflammation. I've got a digestive enzyme and a probiotic. Your gut health is your second brain, and it matters more to your general health, not just your gut. Your gut is where your hormones are created, so you do need to support your gut health, whether you're on birth control or not. Vitamin C, and then this is a skin and digestion supplement because I have been struggling with acne, so I'm just taking this and seeing how it goes. Okay, so don't judge my breakfast, but I did burn the sweet potato a little bit. I have broccoli, Brussels sprouts, the sweet potato, and then an egg. This is my first half of my breakfast. I also have gluten-free oats with a little bit of gluten-free granola, some sunflower seeds, which I'll get into why I'm eating sunflower seeds later, a tiny bit of granola butter, which is also gluten-free, and then blueberries. I always start eating the savory meal first. If you want to keep your blood sugar levels balanced, you want to start with savory vegetables, fiber, before you have any fruit or sugary foods. So let's talk why I got on birth control in the first place. The short answer is I was in college, I was partying, and I didn't want to get pregnant. Honestly, I'm glad that I was on birth control at the time. But what I didn't know was basically how birth control affects your body. All I was told was just take this pill, take this shot, and you won't get pregnant. And that was all I wanted to hear at the time. So unfortunately, I didn't educate myself, and I didn't get educated by my doctors on what other kinds of effects birth control can have. So I've been on birth control for almost 10 years. It's been about 8 years and I never took a break, which is insane now that I know what I know. Like 10 years of having foreign hormones, unnatural hormones injected into your body is just, for me, it doesn't sit right with me. And it literally isn't sitting right with me. So that gets into why I'm now deciding to get off of birth control. I have been pretty lucky with birth control. I've been on one same birth control my entire journey, which was the Depo, which is the birth control shot. And it honestly worked really well for me, surprisingly. Most people I know say that it did horribly for them. But about 3 years ago, I started getting cystic acne, and I do think this was due to stuff that was going on in my life as well, like stress-related factors, but I have never gotten terrible cystic acne in my whole entire life, and 3 years ago, that's when I started getting them, like on my cheeks, in the jaw area. I didn't think of it too much at the time, but then last year my acne started getting way worse, and it was all cheeks and chin area and jawline area. So I was like, what the F is going on with me? Something's not working right. I take super good care of my skin. Why am I getting acne all of a sudden? When my acne started getting worse, my diet was actually starting to get even cleaner. So I was like, there has to be something else that's happening. I started going to this new esthetician, and she said, I really encourage you to explore getting off of birth control and read this book called Beyond the Pill by Dr. Jolene Brighten. This book changed my freaking life. You need to read this book. If you're on birth control, if you're thinking about getting on or off birth control, it will literally, when I think about all this stuff we don't know when we're getting ourselves into things like getting on birth control, I'm like, oh my God. I don't want to blame doctors, but you know, like these things need to be told to women who are going to be injecting themselves with foreign objects. Well, this book changed my life, and I was like, I'm getting the fuck off birth control immediately. And also, I am no longer in a relationship. So I had like a 3-year long relationship until last year, and I'm no longer on it. So I was like, I'm not kind of fraternizing like I used to. So I'm just at home doing nothing. I don't need birth control anymore. So the depot did stop my period completely, and I have not had a period in almost 10 years. So getting off birth control for me is also like, I really want to have a period again. I don't know when it's gonna come back because I've been without it for so long, but I feel like I'm at the age where it's like, maybe it's time to have a period again. When you are coming off of birth control after a significant amount of time, being on birth control for like less than a year can affect your hormones. And I've been on it for freaking 8 years, so how much more me? You have to transition off of birth control. If you quit cold turkey, there is a high chance that something in your body is going to react really poorly because you're literally stripping these fake hormones you've been pumping through your system for months or years, and suddenly your body's like, whoa, what just happened? Maybe you get low libido, low energy, you're gonna break out. That's why you need to transition. And there is a specific plan in Dr. Brighten's book on how you can transition. 2 things that she recommends is a liver cleanse and an anti-inflammatory foods cleanse for 30 days. I did both. The liver cleanse was basically you take these liver cleansing supplements and you combine it with a low inflammatory or anti-inflammatory diet to really help your liver detoxify. As I may have mentioned before, your liver is constantly detoxifying your system of chemicals, processed foods, skincare ingredients that aren't natural, and it needs all the help it can get, especially when it's also processing your birth control. I will post the liver cleanse and link it in the description. It's for 14 days and then you don't have to do it anymore. Then the 30-day anti-inflammatory foods cleanse is basically a diet of no gluten or grains, no processed fats, no added sugars except for a tiny bit of coconut sugar, raw honey or maple syrup, no caffeine or alcohol, no corn or corn products, no soy or soy products, no peanuts or peanut product. There might be more that I'm missing, but I'll list it here on the. You do that for 30 days and you might be thinking, oh my God, that is so crazy. Like I could never do that. Trust me when I say there are so many different foods that you just haven't been exposed to yet, that once you are put in a position where you have like certain foods you can't eat, you'll be able to see how many more foods there are to eat and that are so good and so nutritious and so nourishing for you. Like honestly, I did miss rice and I did miss like my oatmeal. I love oatmeal, but it's only for 30 days of your entire life. Think about it. 30 days of your entire life, that's thousands and thousands of days. You can do it and it's going to be so good for you. My mom did it with me and she eats every single thing on that anti-inflammatory foods list. She had no reason to do it. She just joined me, and if she can do it, you guys can do it too. It's not as bad as your head is making it seem. I'm also taking supplements to help my body absorb the nutrients it needs to absorb and support just my organs and inner workings. And one thing I should mention is you want to do the anti-inflammatory foods cleanse and liver cleanse at least 30 days before you plan to get off birth control. You can do the liver cleanse as part of the anti-inflammatory foods cleanse. The liver cleanse will be for the first half of the anti-inflammatory foods cleanse, and then you'll just do the rest of the anti-inflammatory foods cleanse after that. Now, I'm about to be off of birth control in literally a week. I'm like so stoked. What I'm gonna be doing is something called seed cycling. So seed cycling is eating specific seeds based on the phase of your menstrual cycle or based on the phase of the moon. For me, since I do not have my period back, I am going to be doing seed cycling based on the phases of the moon. I'm not gonna get into this like too detailed, I'll just give you a little overview because we've talked about a lot of information here. But basically the seeds that you consume based on the phase of the moon or your menstrual cycle is going to either support estrogen production or support progesterone production, which is really essential to having a healthy period or getting your period back if you don't have one. Currently, we are in the full moon to new moon phase. During this phase, we want to be supporting progesterone. The seeds for that are sunflower seeds and sesame seeds. You'll see in my oats that I'm currently about to start eating, I have some sunflower seeds here, but I'm also going to be supporting my progesterone production by eating other progesterone loving foods. In my first half of my breakfast, there was sweet potato. Progesterone loves potatoes, especially sweet potatoes. Sweet potato is going to be one of my go-tos. I also just love it. Basically, that's what I'm doing right now to try and balance my hormones as much as possible before, you know, like my last day on my birth control. Hopefully get my period back as soon as possible. I'm just going to enjoy the rest of my breakfast now and I'll see you at lunch. Okay, so it is time to make dinner. It's actually only like 4:30 right now, but I ate a super late breakfast, so I'm not gonna eat lunch. Usually I would have a smoothie with protein powder and some kind of fruit, but since I ate such a late breakfast, I'm just gonna have an early dinner and call it that. I'm just going to put the dressing on my serving since I'm the only one eating this. So I've got my sesame seeds and then I've also got some cashews. I love cashews. Just a little bit of sesame seeds, or a lot because it's the seed of my current phase. A little avocado. Avocado is also amazing for your hormones. I like to make my avocado look really pretty, so we're just gonna add it like that. Top it with a little more cilantro. One more thing, I love lime and I think lime goes perfectly with this recipe. Just a little sprinkle. If you want to make it look cute, then just pop the lime somewhere. Let's see, maybe right there. And that is my Asian slaw with sesame oil and sesame seeds for your progesterone. And then I also am gonna get that salmon out of the microwave. I am a big spicy food gal, so I'm gonna add some Mike's hot honey on top, just because I like a little kick, and it goes really well with this like refreshing type of salad. Here is my dinner. Look how good this is. I'm going to have one of these Bella Hadid drinks, Kin Euphorics functional beverages. I got hot again, so I took off my shirt. Cheers. That's really good. Yummy. Hello, it is now nighttime. I went to the movies, saw Indiana Jones, and now I'm ready for dessert. So for dessert, okay, one last little hormone loving food is a little bit of dark chocolate. I am obsessed with the Hue dark chocolate. So good. I'm gonna end the vlog here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.